as much due diligence as they have practiced to attempt to keep all of this a secret, ladies and gentlemen, over the hundreds and thousands of years of their existence, it has crept out in writings and in hieroglyphic reliefs, in books, in symbols, in ceremonies, in the relief and in the buildings of ancient and modern architecture. They made reference in the article that the ancient cathedrals were the Bibles of the day, where the religion was recorded in the edifice in stone. What they don't tell you, that when the ancient cathedrals of Europe were dismantled over the years one by one to be cleaned and rebuilt and shored up to make them safer for modern congregations and for tourists and for history, when the great slab stone was lifted from the top of the altar, in each and every one was found a great stone penis, the phallus of Osiris. And I could go on and on and on, and this is all a matter of historical record. But read Morals and Dogma, read everything that you can by Albert Pike. You'll find that he is acknowledged in the works of Freemasons everywhere as the greatest Freemason who has ever lived, and the one who opened up the lost word so that they could all understand it more easily. And if you read his works diligently, your mind will suddenly see a glimmer through the fog. As you walk toward that glimmer and you study his works more, you will see that the fog will part. And there truly indeed will be a light, ladies and gentlemen, but it will be the light of your intellect shining upon the black light of the lies of Freemasonry, and will reveal to you that Lucifer is their God. But not in any sense of reality, for they do not acknowledge that there is a Lucifer or a Jehovah or an Adonai or a Yahweh. They believe that their God is themselves. That all of these other things are just symbols, metaphors, and allegories. Veils, if you will. Veils that hide the truth from all but the very highest degrees, the most studied of the brotherhood, those that are admitted to the very sacrosanct caverns and groves, if you will. And only those who have studied the symbology of the mysteries will understand what I just said. And I said it purposely for them. To ultimately disappear behind the veil themselves and to become one of the 1,000 points of light, working toward the completion of the great work, the final examination of the grand experiment, to place their king upon the throne of the world. They will do this when they have eliminated all existing religions, save theirs. And you will notice that all religions in the world are changing now, coming closer together, becoming more humanistic in their thinking, practicing what's known as liberation theology, which, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing more than Marxism. And Marxism renounces God. The ultimate end of the blending of all of this and the coming together will be the practice of the religion of Freemasonry. which is itself the ancient religion of Babylon, reborn in the modern age after it has been kept hidden. Kept hidden, ladies and gentlemen, in the little boat made of reeds, floating through the waters of life until it is found by the handmaiden of Pharaoh's daughter, who will then take the young babe Horus out, walk it to the farthest extent of Pride Rock, and hold it aloft for all to see. And then, ladies and gentlemen, there will be no more nation states. There will be no more wars. There will be no more various religions scattered throughout the world. There will be no more than 500 million people upon the face of this earth. And there will never be allowed to be any more than that number. And there will be no more freedom for anyone. Information will be controlled. History will disappear and be rewritten, so there will be no memory of what has gone before. And there will be no hope of deliverance. For the technology that they are developing in secret will be the most terrible weapons of destruction for those who will oppose the great new utopian socialist world order that has ever been contemplated in the mind of man in the history of this world, and can little be imagined. It's not too late to turn it around. But based upon my observations and my experience, no such thing will happen. No such thing will happen, ladies and gentlemen. And when they begin to squeeze the pinchers and disarm the American people and bring together this utopian socialist order upon the ashes of what once was the greatest nation upon the face of this earth, bar none in the history of the world, and the freest, most educated, most well-off people who have ever lived upon this earth, a small handful of men like me and women will stand and fight the last battle for freedom. It will be a long battle, and it will be fought over many years. And there will be a lot of crying and suffering. And I haven't the slightest idea who's going to win that battle, ladies and gentlemen. But I know something from my study of the world and its history. Those who fight for ideas and who are willing to die for those ideas have never been beaten in the history of the world, not once. Those who fight for a paycheck and a promise of a retirement are the easiest armies to defeat and always have been, regardless of the magnitude or the terror of their weapons. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Think about tonight's episode of The Hour of the Time and determine what it is that you will do. Will you bend down and place the chains around your own ankles and march docilely into your enslavement? Or will you join with those of us who will fight that last battle for freedom? You see, you're going to die someday anyway. Why not die for something that's right and something that's good, if you're going to die? And I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that some may think they are God, we are all going to die. God bless each and every single one of you. The bell is tolling, and it's tolling for you, and you had better listen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you know why William Jefferson Clinton called me, William Cooper, the most dangerous radio host in America. For I am the greatest enemy that socialism has ever known. And the only weapon that I wield is truth.